What's up, guys? And today we're going to be doing another scenario from Kubernetes Goat, and this is the fourth scenario, and it's called Container Escape to the Host System. So let's just get into it. So first, let's read the overview. This scenario showcases the common misconfigurations and one of the error-prone security issues in Kubernetes container environments and the general security world. Giving privileges that are not required for things always makes security worse. This is especially true in containers in Kubernetes world. You can also apply the scenario further and beyond the container to other systems and services based on the configuration and setup of the cluster environment and resources. In this scenario, you will see a privileged container escape to gain access to the host system. This is basically a little simple diagram. Basically, we are in the container privileged host system. We're in a container, but this is privileged to access the home system. So we go through some kubeconfig, some network stuff, which gives us more powers, and we just go through each containers, and we get to basically get host system level privileges, so we can run stuff on the home system. So by the end of this scenario, we will understand and learn the following. Able to exploit the container and escape out of the Docker container, you will learn to test and exploit the misconfigured and privileged containers. Learn about common misconfiguration and possible damage due to them for containers, Kubernetes and clusterized environments. Let's just read this story real quick. Most of the monitoring, tracing, and debugging software requires extra privileges and capabilities to run. In this scenario, you will see a pod with extra capabilities and privileges, including host path, allowing you to gain access to the host system and provide node level configuration to gain complete cluster compromise. Let's just quickly read the goal. So the goal of the scenario is just to escape out of the running Docker container onto the home system using the available misconfigurations. The secondary goal is to use the host system level access to gather other resources access, and if possible even go beyond this container node in cluster level access. So just a tip: to gain access to the host system and obtain node level kubeconfig, go to this file and query Kubernetes nodes using obtained configurations. So I say let's just get into it. So to get started, just navigate to this website here and make sure your cluster is running, got your pods up running, and see you guys then, I guess. Here is just go to our web browser and just quickly go to the website and just copy the website here, copy the link, and just paste that in here, paste and go. You see, it didn't work here for me because I forgot to do bash access Kubernetes Goat, and now it will work now. So here, we're here now, and we see it's basically like a shell. So what we do here is just do some simple enumeration: ls, see who we are, id, looks like just export the term 256 color. So we're ID, we know we're in a Docker container, so yep. Now here what we do, go into the website and see basically what we need to find out. So we need to basically go to the scenario to just escape out of the running Docker container on the host system. So first let's start off by seeing all the capabilities we can do. So let's do that. Catch print, and it's basically print all the capabilities we can do. And we see here loads of capabilities here, but the one we should be looking at is for the mount. So we need to find the mount. Looks like we can't find it, but we can. We just try out mount. We can do this, and you see here we are able to mount. And so what we do now is we just did mount, so we do ls and we see we got a new file, basically host system. So we just do ls host system. See, this looks basically like a normal directory but this is just for the host system. So we're in a Docker container, so this is just for the host system. So what we do now is make us basically accessible for the host system. So we do bash. So now we press ls. Now we're in the host system. At least it's directory. So now what we can do is do docker ps. As we see, we've got docker, and basically this just outputs all the Docker configurations, network configurations, etc. So basically just all the host system resources like Docker containers, configurations, etc. So let's just run that command. Enter. We see we get a load of basically configurations here. So go up here and just read through them. What we can do here, just go over to the website, and we see here docker ps that the Kubernetes node configuration can be found at the default path which is used. Okay, so what now basically tells us is to basically just cat out the Kubernetes node configuration. So it's var lib kubelet config. So for that, what we just do is just go to the machine, go here, clear cat var lib kube, here, and kube config. You see there's no file in there called kube config. So what we do, just cd into the folder and see if it's hidden or anything. So ls see no kube config file. There's kube config.yaml, but that's not the one we're looking for. So we just click clear on this, and what we do now is basically the file is not here, so just find out other ways. So we can go into etc ls here, and we can just go into Kubernetes ls, and we see here we have a kubelet config. So basically this is the same as kube config. See here we got it. This is basically, we can use this as a config to basically run commands onto the host system. Even though they're not the same, these both do the same job. I don't know why it's cat var lib kubelet config. Must be like an issue or something, but that this works, and the other one also works. So now it basically tells us to use a kube config var lib and get all in kube system. So basically this will get everything here, and with the kubectl binary. So if you go on here and try kubectl, we see we have no command here. So now we have to try find the binary somehow. So what we can do is go back to var lib and see here if there is any other Kubernetes related directory. So we have kubelet and minikube. See to minikube and see if there is anything in there, and we see we have loads of stuff here. There is also kube config here, but this is different. This one does not work. I have tried this, but tried with this as using it as the kube config, but this one does not work. So that one's there, and go to binaries. As we see, it's something with binaries. v1, just do that, and we see we have kubeadm, kubectl, kubelet. So we just need to use kubectl here, and Now what it wants us to do is put the kube config file, which equals to etc kubernetes kubelet config. And now what we can do is just do get pods here. This does usually take some time, so just be patient with that and just wait until it will basically show us. And here we see we've got basically the pods. We basically got the pods, so we're basically running this on the host system. We are able to get the pods. What we can also do is also do get nodes to basically get the nodes, get what nodes are running. This also will take some time. And we see here we got the minikube node ready, stuff like that. So just go over to the website real quick, and basically that's it. So what we can do with this too here, as it does say here, get all in cube system, so we can also try that. So just, I guess, just try that. But when I have tried it, there was some error. Like most of it got printed out, but some other ones did not get printed out, and I couldn't really resolve the error. So get all get all tag and cube system. So and I think stands for namespace cube system, and it should work. Again, it'll take some time, not too long here. So we've got basically everything in the every pod in the cube system, and we see we've got some bunch of errors here, basically forbidden errors. So yep. So now what we can do is go back into the website here, and we see we basically completed this scenario. Hooray! Now you can see that it returns cluster nodes available. We have privilege and permission with obtained configuration to query the Kubernetes API server. So with this, you can do more harmful stuff, like probably delete a pod or exec into a pod, and then exec throughout that and get complete hold of the host system. But this is basically we're running stuff in the host system while not actually being in the host system. So basically this is container escape into the host system. So I hope you guys liked that video, and see you guys next time.